So we'll start in a comfortable seat, however you choose, kneeling, cross-legged. A good idea to have the hips elevated, and that will help you feel more easy and assume an easy upright position. So close your eyes and just take this time to connect with yourself, especially if you've had a busy day, been running around. It's good to just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. Ask yourself how you're feeling. And if there's any bits of you that are calling your attention, notice that. And it might be physical, but it could be, more sort of emotional, mental. A recurring thought that grabs your attention. So just want you to start with just very gentle neck stuff. So we'll just take our gaze from left to right, so turning all the way to the left. Well, when I say all the way, turning to the left, and then maybe not going all the way if your neck's stiff. And over to the right. And back again to the left. So perhaps there's a variation that maybe one side feels more resistant. And then come back to center when you've done it evenly on both sides. Come back to center. And we'll take the right ear down over towards the right shoulder. And maybe it's nice to actually just sort of give that shoulder a little pat, because it might be a bit tense, and then there might be an impulse to lift the shoulder towards the ear, which we want to avoid. So let the ear do the work. And now there's going to be a feeling more of opening on the left side. So just let's see if we can deepen that. Stretch down the left side of the neck by a little nodding motion of the chin. And then side to side. So and as well, obviously we want to get a nice stretch, but it's also, you can think of it as being like investigative, just noticing, oh yes, maybe that's a bit stiff. We can go a little deeper into this by taking the right hand and just rest it on the side of the head. So gently moving the head down. It might not want to go very far, so be compassionate to your body. So this left arm, we can move that a little bit. One quite good thing is to flex the hand and press the hand away. And that could be, first of all, down towards the floor. You can also move the hand back a bit behind you, and you can lift and lower it. Or you could do a little combination of those. Finding something that feels like it's going helping you go more deeply, therapeutically into the side of the neck, left side of the neck. Make time to breathe. Such an obvious sort of thing to say, but You don't always do that. So we're going to come out of this. So you can just rest that left hand now and bring the right hand underneath the head and bring it up. And we'll just rest here, pause here, let everything settle. And you can just maybe try that side to side movement, see if there's any change. And then we'll go the other way. So left ear to left shoulder, and you can even shoulder a little tap. And the chin, try a nodding up and down chin, see if that helps you. And then maybe side to side. So the chin moves down towards the shoulder. And then this left hand can rest on the side. See how that feels. Which is, just finding something that feels good for your body. And then we can use this right hand. That can bring in an added dimension. So up and down, that might work. You could have the arm fully extended, but I quite like a little bend in the arm as well. Back behind you. Out. So just rest that right hand, use the left hand, gently support the head back up center. Just let the head move. See if it, I don't know, does it feel any better? Maybe too early to say. So we'll just pause for a moment. Take a full breath in and out. Onto all fours, so just moving smoothly. So let's just round the back. So come onto the front of the feet, spread the fingers, press firmly down through your hands and round the back. You can engage your abdominal muscles a little bit here, a little sort of even really pulling up the lower belly. Make space between all the vertebrae, drop the head. You can move your hips towards your chin. And breathe into the back of the body, which also really does help with the stretch. It's moving and expanding the back of the body. And then you can go a little stronger if you wish by lifting your knees. They don't have to come up far, just a little lift. And then come down, comfort to neutral, and then we'll take a little gentle back arch. So we're lifting the chest, pressing the chest forward through the arms. So you can really dig down with your hands and gently push the chest forward and see how that feels. Broadening across the collarbone. And then back to neutral position. And tuck your toes under and take a downward dog. Bend the right knee and breathe out. Bend the left knee and breathe in. Then the right knee and breathe out. Then the left knee and breathe in. And now pick up the right foot, take it behind you. And we're going to step it all the way forward, taking a lunge. And before we actually come up, we're going to see if we can just straighten up that leg and see how that feels. It may not go to full straightness, that's okay. Just pause here. You can wiggle that front foot and pull the toes back towards you, and that should feel really good in the back of the leg, or maybe not, I don't know, maybe a little discomfort, but juicy. And then come forward again. And gently coming up to upright position. Take your palms, your hands out to the side, turn the palms out. So really try and rotate the whole of the arm with the palm. And then with a little bit of a flexion in the hand, bring the hands all the way up overhead. And then we'll take a side twist. So we're going to hold the right arm and we're going to bend to the, we're bending to the right side, holding the left arm, And pause and breathe. Big stretch down that left side. And then release your hands. And before we go down, let's just take the elbows to shoulder height. Keep a bend in the arms and pull the elbows back. Opening your chest and feel a little squeezing action between the shoulder blades. Squeezing in action. And then hands either side of the foot and step back to downward dog. So you can just bend the left knee and breathe out. Then the right knee and breathe in. And the left knee and breathe out. Then the right knee, breathe in. And lift your left leg when you're ready. And we're stepping it forward between the hands. Before we go into think about coming up, let's just see if we can stretch out that front leg nicely. Pull the toes back. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be poker straight. You can just experiment with straightening it and then bending it and straightening it. So you're kind of gently working into those muscles. Wiggle the foot, spread the toes, make this very dynamic. Come forward, so you're back on the sole of the foot, and then up. So pausing, bring the hands to the side, turn the palms out, and really see if you can make it so that the upper arm moves too. And then with a bit of flexion in the hand, extending the fingers all the way up overhead. We're going to hold the right wrist, we're going to bend to the left. Breathing into the side body. And release the hands down. So come up first and release the hands, bend the elbows, and then you're going to get that nice sort of feeling. Again, it's adaptable to your body. You might need to bring your elbows down a bit more if your shoulders are feeling tight, or you might feel very happily positioned at the shoulder height. Finding something that feels like it's going to be really good for your shoulders. Squeezing the shoulder blades together.
and then the hands are going to come down. We'll step back into a downward dog. And bring your knees down and come from here into Anahatasana. So I'm suggesting that you start with straight arms, but obviously, you know, if you need to bring your elbows down, take the elbows wide, that might be better sometimes for the shoulders. The bum is above your knees. Pressing down. I am resting on the side of my head, but you could also be on your chin, but that might be a bit much for the neck. I'm trying to be kind to the neck today. So if you're lying on the side of the head, as I am, in a moment, just switch to the other side, so you're not, so you're evenly working the sides of the head. Now press down into your hands, lift up a little bit. Take your hands as wide as the mat. And from here, we're going to slide our chest forward, come into a cobra. So cobra, for this cobra, let's bring the feet, thighs together, squeeze the buttocks, hands down by your lower ribs. Feel that sort of squeezing action between the shoulder blades as we were doing a minute ago, and then maybe, you know, get a little lift. Could be very limited lift. It doesn't have to be, it's not all about how far you come up, it's about whether you can feel that strength and build that strength in the core, in the back body, and abdominals as well. Rest your head down for a moment. Relax the lower back and the glutes. And then we're going to come back into downward dog. So you can push yourself up, back to sort of child pose and up to downward dog. Up the right foot, we're stepping it forward. And coming up. Take your hands out to the side, turn the palms out, and then lifting up and overhead. So we're going to take a little twist. So bringing the hands down into the heart, turn towards the right leg. I'm just going to turn around. Turn towards that right leg. And try and line your elbows up with the heel of the hand. And we're going to hook the elbow over the knee, and it might take a few, I don't know, if you, this is one I always feel like I really notice if I haven't done any yoga. It's a difficult twist, I think, so you might need to coax yourself into it. See if we can turn a little more. Squeeze the thighs together. That is going to give you stability in your lower body, so that the hips don't move around, everything feels very stable, solid. And then turn, and the turn is from above the waist. Thoracic spine. And then release the hands down either side of the foot. And we're just going to straighten up that front leg again as we did a minute ago. And maybe this is feeling a bit easier. And from here, we'll take a downward dog. So now go wide in your downward dog. So I mean, set the feet back a little bit. So you've got a long dog. And then we're going to swing our shoulders over our wrists. And if there's any, if this feels a bit much, just bring the knees right down and lift the feet. In fact, let's all do that. let's just all bring our knees down. You get to do a stronger version in a minute if you want to. So the shoulders are over the wrists, and we're going to drop into chaturanga. So little bend in the elbows, shoulders move down, forward and down. Belly, lower belly pulls up. We're not worried. This is not about how low you go, so it could just be a small movement. And then press back up into your sort of regular plank shape and back to downward dog. So we will take the left leg, we're going to lift it up. We're going to step it forward. We're going to come up into a lunge. Just pause for a moment here. And the hands come out. So we've got left leg forward, arms turn out. See if you can get the full rotation of the arm, which also is really nice for the shoulder, although it might feel quite strong on the shoulder to do that. And then with a little bit of flexion in the hands, lift up overhead. We're taking a twist. So the hands come down into the heart, and we're going to turn. Just out. Turn towards the left. Squeeze your thighs together. Help strengthen your lower body, and then hooking over the knee with the right arm. Belly pulls in, especially that lower abdominal. I mean, the whole belly, but really, sometimes we more focus on the upper belly and forget the lower belly. So see if you can lift up from the lower belly. Come out, hands either side of the foot, and straighten up the leg. And see how that feels on this side. Flex the foot, and you can spread the toes, and bend and straighten the leg as much as you need to. Hands down, take your knee back, so the knees are under the hips, and we'll just drop down again into that Anahatasana. Sorry, not Anahatasana, Anahatasana. And we're going to do what we did last week, where we take the left arm and bend the left arm so that the forearm is sort of, how to say that, parallel with the front of the mat. And then you bring your head down and extend through the opposite hand. So you've got the left arm bent, parallel with the front of the mat. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself a little bit more support in this, so you can really reach away with the right hand. And then we're going to move the hips over to the left side. So you get, again, that side stretch. Head down, hips above your knees, reaching away with the right arm, moving the hips to the left. Now, lift up your head, and we'll just swap arms. So we bend the right arm and we extend with the left hand. Move your hips to the right. And then come back to center. Pick up your head, lift your head, and you're going to come back to all fours, tuck your toes under, come up to downward dog. And then from here, we'll do a little warrior sequence. So at this point, it might be good to get your block if you haven't got it nearby and bring it to the front of the mat. We might be glad of it in a sec. So lift the right foot and step it forward. And now flatten the left foot. So we're actually going to come to Trikonasana first. So this is where the block can be useful. So we've got the block on the outside of the foot, on the highest height, just to give yourself a little bit of a break. So the right toes point forward, the left toes turn out. And don't overextend in this. You don't have to have a massive wide stride because we're going to hold it for a little bit of time, not huge. So we're pressing down through the right hand into the block and turning the chest. Have a look at your top shoulder. I've got my hand just resting on the side of the body. In fact, why not take that hand and wrap it around the waist, then it's a bit easier to roll that shoulder back. So we'll do that for a moment. And now releasing the arm, turn the palm up towards the ceiling, and we're going to take that arm over the ear. So then we're lengthening through the side body again. One more breath here. And then we're going to move from here to warrior two. So let the hand come in front of the body. We can just rest it on the side body for the moment, and we're bending the front knee. The hand, we can leave the block behind and come up into standing warrior. So we've got the hips pointing to the edge of the mat and the hands come up to shoulder height. Turn the palms up and see if you can also turn the elbow creases and the biceps. It's quite a lot of work in the arms. And then turn the palms down. We'll take a peaceful warrior, so left hand to the left thigh, right arm up and over. Back to our warrior two, so arms shoulder high, and very smoothly come to resting the right arm on the right thigh, and we'll take a circle with that top arm and see if you can find that line. Hopefully we've done enough side opening for you to feel that you sort of feel that nice deep stretch into the side. Press into the outer ankle of the left foot. Going to come out. So bring that raised hand down, lift the back heel as you do that, and we'll just bring the back knee down, and we're going to do that nice stretch for the front leg again. So we've got the front leg straight. Forward hands either side of the foot and step to downward dog. We won't hang about, we'll do the other side. So lift the left foot, step it forward. We're going to take that triangle shape again. So this is where the block's useful. So left toes forward, back foot turns out a bit. And we're pressing into the block. Even if you feel like you never need a block, it's still nice sometimes to have the experience of using a block. Just gives us a bit more space. We'll wrap the back arm around the waist for a moment. So then you can just roll the top shoulder back. You can turn the chest as well. And also with the block there, you get to lengthen the underside of the body. If you're reaching down to the floor, sometimes you scrunch up in the underside of the body. When I say the underside, I mean the left side of the torso. So release that right hand, turn the palm up, and we're going to bring it up over the ear. So now we're lengthening that side of the torso. So hopefully you've got a feeling of lengthening on both sides. Now, the really challenging thing here, which is just an option, is to lighten the weight into the block. So you're holding your torso more. You can have a go with that, see what that feels like. And then, you know, don't just for a moment, just to get that experience. So we're going to just rest the arm on the side of the body. I'm just bringing it in front of my face and then resting it. Then the top of the knee, and we're coming up into Warrior Virabhadrasana 2. Turn the palms up again. So it's just a technique for helping you rotate your arms, work the arms a bit harder. And then palms down, try and keep that uplift in the upper arm. Back to Peaceful Warrior. So right hand on the right thigh, left arm up and over the ear. Pausing there. Very smoothly come down into Warrior 2, and from there to this beastly Utthita Parsvakonasana that I've been punishing you with all these past weeks. So I hope it's feeling easier. I know it's really tough. I definitely find it's really strong. So push back into that right outer heel. Reach up with those fingers. See if you can get more sensation around the waist. And then we're going to come out. So as you lower the hand, you can lift the back heel and come to this nice little lunge. Loosening up the legs, backs of the thighs, backs of the calves. Here, come forward, pick up the back foot and step it forward, so both feet together, and let your body just fold down over your legs. You can even, maybe bend your knees a bit more and feel your ribs pressing down onto your thighs. Feel good. It's also nice to press the floor away as well. So, through your hands. So we're going to come into squat. So if your feet aren't together, bring them together, unless you feel very unstable. If you feel like you might be happier with your feet wide, but I think you two are fine with this. Squeeze the feet and thighs together. Swing your knees, arms back towards your hips. Don't let the knees travel too much beyond the ankles. And then you've got options to raise the arms so they're in line with the hips, or the hands can come into the heart instead if that felt a bit strong on the lower back. We're really going to pick up that lower belly. So feel it pull up and back. And we're going to just come up and down a few times. Because I think I've said to you in previous classes, I've been learning about how the squats is very good for your brain health. It's obviously good for all sorts of things in the body, thighs and knees. There's something about the rising up and down of the. It's good. It sends a lot of oxygen, blood, and glucose to the brain, the hippocampus, and that's supposed to be really good for your cognitive faculties. So press ups are also good. All the way up to standing, and I'm setting myself up so I'm facing the long edge of my mat, because we're going to just go a little bit from left to right here. So yeah, let's take the block and put it we'll hold the block in our hand. So take a wide stride with your legs. Turn the right toes out, left toes in, and we're coming into Warrior 2 with the legs. We'll use the arms in a moment. So first of all, just check the alignment. Knee above the ankle or behind the ankle. And don't let your patella, your kneecap, move in or out. keep the patella in line with the second and the third toe. Sounds like a fussy detail, but it's for the benefit, long-term health of your knees. And then we'll take our warrior arms. I know it's slightly awkward because we're holding a block. And then from here, very smoothly and with control, can you bring your block to the outside of the ankle? And we're going to reach over the ear with the hand. So again, Utthita Prajnapanasana. If this feels a bit much and you prefer to have that the arm, the bottom hand on the thigh, as we did earlier, you could do that instead if you haven't got anything to lean into. We're trying to turn the chest. We've done lots of side stretch. Can you turn your chest a little towards the ceiling and look up onto the armpit? And hopefully, with the preparation we did for the neck, maybe your neck can move quite happily here. If it's a bit stiff, don't force it. Well done. We'll come out by bringing the hand down, just rest it on the side body, and then come back up to center. Pick up your block. We'll go the other way. So turn the left toes out, right toes in, bending the left knee. Before we think about the arms, let's just look at our legs, look at the knee. And maybe you could, if you felt in the mood for something stronger, you could drop lower into this front thigh. But don't push that. It's better to get the alignment really good and then work on how low you go. That's much more important. So we'll take the arms up to shoulder height. Pressing back into that right foot. We're going to slowly cascade the body down. So the left hand comes to the outer heel, and we're reaching up with this top arm, right arm. So many things to you can work on in this. You can re-engage those inner thighs. You can pull the feet back towards each other, so you've got a sense of just sort of keeping the feet very stable and being very powerful in your foundations. You can turn the chest. Look up on the armpit. We're going to come out. So bring the raised arm back to the side body and gently coming back up. And you can shuffle your feet in a little bit. Put your block down, and we'll just do a little balance. So take your arms out to shoulder height, turn the palms up. You can pull the thumbs back towards the wall behind you. So then that will make you squeeze your shoulder blades in a little. And now take the left arm. We're going to wrap it under the right, taking eagle arm. So it depends on, for your shoulders, you've got the option of hold your shoulders, back of the hands pressed together, or palms squeezed together. Before we think about balancing, let's just play around with the elbows. You can lift elbows and lower elbows. You can movements. You can round the back a little bit. That could feel really nice. So as we were doing with the neck stuff, you can be quite exploratory and find things that feel really good for you, that are completely bespoke to your body. I encourage you to. Left and right is quite good as well. So we've got the left arm underneath. So we're going to lift the left heel now. It's the opposite
So we take the left leg and cross it over. If you feel like you're not in the mood for a big balance, then just loosely cross the leg. Or you can go really quite deeply into this. It's a squat again. Really pull that lower abdomen up, in and up. And can you drop in your lower back, so lengthen the lower back. Breathing. Very good, brilliant control. As I say that, you all fall over. And then we're going to see if we can come up with that same control. So slowly unfurl your legs, bring them down, and then you can release your hands. And just let the hands rest by your sides. Connect with your breath. We'll do the other side, so take the arms up. Again, turn the palms, the biceps, both crease. And then that right arm under the left. So options, hold the shoulders, back of the palms, or the palms, pressing it. Find a nice little therapeutic movement up and down, or side to side, or circles, or rounding the back feels really nice for my body. But you can also even lift the elbows, take more of a back arch. This is very nice to do in a chair as well, actually. So we're not on a chair, so we're going to do balance. So lift the heel of the right leg and loosely cross it or tightly cross it. Eagle pose, Garudasana. So much going on with this. You don't let the knees travel too far forward, because that's not great with the squat. When I say too far forward, ideally they're sort of roughly above the ankles and certainly not beyond your toes. And then lower back long, belly picks up. See if we can come out with that same control. Very good control. So lifting up, uncrossing the legs, stepping back. Very good, by the way. Very impressed with your eagles. And then we'll release the hands. Just pausing now. To connect with yourself, the breath. Take a squatting position. So come low. You've got your block. So if you wanted to sit on that, you could. If you felt like your hips don't want to go into full squat and you prefer to sit on something, then take that option. Otherwise, just let your bum hover and the hands into the heart. Just trying to really relax the lower back. Very earthy pose. Just wanting to bring you down to the floor, to lie on your side. So it's a side balance. I was reading about this a little bit more today, and it's Anantasana. I've done it with you before. You might enjoy using a belt with this. So we are going to, I'm lying on my right side. It doesn't matter which side you lie on, but the side that you're going to lie on, really reach that arm away. The other hand can come in front of you. And before we even do anything else, we're really going to try and extend through the side. So, so reaching
whatever hand you're lying on away as much as you can. And then bend that arm and support the head. So the hand's propping the head up. And we're going to try and lengthen a little bit more by pressing into the other hand and lifting up the elbow. So we're like almost like a little snail. So moving to lengthen out the side body. So lifting the elbow and inching it away from you. So we are completely resting on the side body. And the challenge for you is to see if you can straighten the bottom leg. Completely supported. Poised on the side body. It's called Anantasana, and the English translation, which I didn't know until today, is called infinity pose. It was named after a sage, an Indian sage, and I need to find out more about that. I have to tell you more about that because I didn't get to learn enough to be able to communicate it to you. So we're going to lift the top foot and flex the toes and really push out through the heel. So that leg feels good and long. Really pushing out through the heel. And then bend the knee. And we're going to do some little rotations with this knee. If you want to hold the knee to guide the knee, you can do that. So this is a little bit strong on the hip. So the patella, the kneecap points up towards the ceiling. And then if you're using a belt, you loop your belt around the ball of the foot. So the nice thing about a belt, it's not essential, but the nice thing is that you just get a bit more length in the arm, so you're not yanking your arm out of its socket. However, the other way you could do this is to bring the arm to the back of the knee if you don't have very long arms. So try that option. That works quite well. Either holding the foot, hugging the back of the knee. So we're aiming for straight legs, but it's fine to bend them a bit as much as you need to. Anantasana, infinity pose. Try and relax the head completely into the hand. And whatever you're doing with the arm, or the top arm, just make sure that you're not tense in the shoulder. You can adjust the arm so it feels easier, more relaxed in the shoulder. Strong, so bend the knee as much as you need to. Anantasana. I'm going to come down. And we will go the other way. So I'm turning my head to the other side of the mat, but you can turn away from me. So first of all, we're just going to lengthen through the arm that we're going to use to support us. So keep reaching away with those fingers. The other hand supports you. You bring that other hand in front of you. So we want to feel that the ribs, the intercostals, the waist is stretched. And then support the head with that bottom hand. Completely relax your head. Sounds like an obvious instruction, but actually you might find if you pay attention that your head's actually holding itself more than it needs to. You straighten up your legs, both legs, completely poised on the side of the body. And then pick up the top foot and we're extending. So pushing out through the heel, flexing the toes, make space between the toes. And then bend the knee. And if you want to guide the knee, you can bring your hand to the knee Take some little rotations. And this is when we go for the loop, the belt, if you want to. The belt goes over the ball of the foot. The other option is to just hold the big toe or the outside of the foot or the back of the knee. Back of the knee, I like that option actually. Hugging the back of the knee. Aim, of course, bend the knees as much as you need to, but have a go at straightening the legs as well. Soften the face. And whatever you're doing with the top hand, make sure that that arm is, or certainly the shoulder and the arm is not all taut and tense. And bring the foot down. So we're just going to come up again. Sorry to do this, but I want you to do, I'm aware that so many people that I'm meeting recently have sort of pain around the back of the waist area. So I thought I would finish with this little side stretch, which we do a lot, but it's good to take it once more. So we're just going to extend the left leg, right leg bent. And again, you can use your belt for this. Loop it around the ball of the left foot. And we're taking a side bend. So root down through your right sitting bone and lean in with the left arm. If you can rest the arm on the floor or on the leg, that would be good. And it's that combination of leaning to the left and rooting down through the sitting bone that's going to help you release the back of the waist area. I seem to get so many people coming with pain up around here. Breathe into that. You can even give it a little rub. You know, gardeners seem to suffer with this tightness here. Turn the palm of that right hand up. And just as we did with the Parsvakonasana, you can bring the arm up over the ear and reach for the foot or lean towards the foot. So that's a very sort of dynamic version of this. But if you're tired and your shoulders don't really feel that, you know, maybe that's just a bit much for you today, then bend the arm, bring the hand to the back of the head so you've got support for the head. That's a nice, gentle option. Releasing that arm back down and slowly come back to upright position. And now take the right arm and turn towards the left leg, and you can just rest the hand on the outer edge of the leg. And then you can slide the hand down the leg a bit. And it's another way, slightly different, but good as well, stretch for this back of the waist. Then if you're feeling you've got the flexibility, you can take this left arm, weave it under the right, reach back for the right thigh. So it's a combination of leaning towards the left and pushing back into the right that can feel really releasing for the quadratus lumborum, it's called, at the back of the side bending back of the waist. You can let the head drop. and soften as much as you can. Finding bits of you that relax more deeply. It's a very nice homework pose. You wanted to do some nice restorative sort of poses. This is good. When you're ready, slowly move yourself back. Just sit for a moment before we go the other way. Just swapping legs, so right leg straight, left leg bent. Just fairly straightforward side bend. So we're holding the belt around the ball of the foot if you're using the belt, and just leaning in. And that combination of leaning to the right while pressing down through the sitting bones on the left side. It's those two things that make it good, I think. Let the head drop too. So we're going to go for the strong dynamic arm movement. So turn the left palm up, and again, this smooth movement, bring the arm over the ear, and maybe reach towards the foot. Enjoy this. Go for the restorative, more gentle option, which is bending the arm if you want. Bending the arm, you can bring the hand behind the head. Keep pressing back into the left buttock. Top arm first, and bring yourself up to center. So we're going to take that little twisting action. So the left hand turns, so you're turning towards the right leg, bring the hand onto the outside of the leg. In. Kind of reaching towards the right, but still pressing back into the left sitting bone. And then the other hand, weave it under the arm. Maybe reach for the left thigh or knee. Breath can really help with these stretches. So the more you can kind of breathe into the back of the waist, literally, we're literally feeling the movement, then that will add in some more stretch, which can feel really good. And very smooth and slow come up. We'll just lower ourselves from here into the floor. So because we'll do Shavasana in a moment, so get your whatever you need for Shavasana, your warm things or your blankets or cushions. So maybe a little twist is
is going to be good to finish. So when you come down, you can take your feet quite wide, so make it a nice gentle twist, feet wide, and let the knees just roll from left to right. That can be a nice little finishing, gentle finishing twist. Help you settle down and connect the breath with that movement, so you can really sort of sync the movement with the in and the out breath. So you're just, again, sort of bringing the mind, the body, breath to sort of harmony. And there, just when you're ready, come into your Shavasana. So that is a little bit of symmetry in the body. So let the arms be evenly spaced. Let the feet lie evenly. The feet, toes can turn out, palms turn up. Notice what goes on with your shoulders. Very often I'll see one shoulder whipped up and the other down. So can you even out your shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades in for a moment. That's good. Good little technique to open the chest. And notice your head as well. Is it sort of leaning off? If you've got a bit of stiffness on one side of the neck, maybe there's a tendency to lean into that side. Even that up. So I'm going to do a slightly different exercise with you, just briefly. It's an exercise in noticing your thoughts. It's a bit different from, we normally sort of focus more on the breath, so this is a little different, but we will start by connecting to the breath. So just as we have earlier tonight, so we'll just take a really relaxed, easy breath in and out through the nose. And then take another. So the purpose of this is sometimes we're under siege from our thoughts. Sometimes we just can't switch off those thoughts. And in fact, if you look at the old books of yoga, the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, that they talk about yoga as being a practice to silence the mind. So with that in mind, we're going to watch our thoughts. So it's really simple, and we're only going to look for two, like as though we were like a botanist in the jungle, in the undergrowth, watching for the emergence of a thought. So what I just want you to be aware of as well is the nature of the thought. So sometimes we have self-conscious thoughts, self-critical thoughts, worried thoughts, self-doubt. Sometimes it's a thought about a work problem, relationship problem, or maybe really mundane thought like my nose is itchy, what am I going to have for tea, I'm hungry, those kind of thoughts. So yeah, just let's wait now for that thought. Once it's come, identify it. What kind of thought is this? And now imagine the thought as a cloud in the sky. And you can think of your mind as the big wide open sky. Whatever that thought was that came, you can just label it as that cloud in the sky. And there's a huge amount of space for the thought. And the clouds, as you know, if you spend any time looking at the sky, you know that they come and they go and they sometimes dissolve or sort of melt away. So we're going to look for another thought in a moment. So before you do that, just come back into your body, into your breath. Take an even, easy breath in and out. And in another breath. And now, just wait for that thought. And when it comes, we're going to just observe what the nature of the thought is. So is it a very meaningful thought? Is it a mundane thought? Is it subconscious? Is it a worry? Maybe there's other categories that you can think of. Just label that thought and imagine it. Come back to the image of the sky, like a cloud in the sky. And there's so much space for that thought. And maybe the cloud just dissolves, or the edges of the cloud get a little bit wispy. We're going to just let that pass now. So relax any effort now. It's just a little technique. Help you maybe think about your thoughts in a different way, or deal with your thoughts in a different way, which is part of why we do yoga, to sort of manage all more uncomfortable feelings, whether it's physical, mental. So we're relaxing any effort and let the body be heavy, relaxed. Nothing to do, nothing to prove. And if there's a bit of your body that calls your attention, can you just relax around that part of the body? If there's a thought that pops up that demands your attention, then can you just sort of relax around that, let it drift. So when you're ready, I'm going to begin to bring some small movements into the body. And from there, rolling to your side, resting for a moment. very slowly, smoothly. When you're ready, you can come up to sitting. So we just take a comfortable seat. Bring the backs of your hands onto your legs. Lightly press down through the backs of the palms so you can lift up a little in the front body. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then bring the thumb and the forefinger together. Take a deep, easy breath in. And then one more. Finishing with the hands together, thumbs together. And you can just rest them up on your forehead, at your forehead. Thank you very much, everyone. Nice to see you both, and I'm just going to stop the recording.